tonight's starting lineups. First up, Kyle, the visitors, brought to you by Campbellsville University, the visitors from Huntington, West Virginia.
Well, just a great squad, also 6-man coming off the bench. But I was really impressed last time we saw them play against Lexington Catholic how well they played together. You'd think maybe with this much recognition and a couple of high-profile players that there'd be a little trouble. The guys won too much basketball, but that ball seemed to go around real well. Very unselfish and played great.
Great shooting basketball team. They shoot 59%. Now the Campbellsville University starting lineup for the Cards of Scott County would be Bud Mackey, the 6'2 junior. They're all juniors except for Matt Walls. Cameron Hunley, younger brother of Mr. Basketball Scott Hunley, is 6'4". Jordan Lee, 6'7", 6'8", if you will. And Jimmy Warren will get the start of 5'10" forward. But a great athlete, Jimmy Warren, a tremendous athlete, a great football player. And I think that's why you got him out there tonight, Cal. He's such a good athlete. He provides great quickness.
Well, and Coach Hicks talked about the competitive spirit. And I think because he is such a great athlete, he likes these big games, as does all the Scott County players. So should be a great contest. Enthusiasm to start the game. Scott County really fired up, and Huntington just looks like they're kind of going through the motion. We'll see if they can turn it on.
Patterson tapped it to himself. You can't do that. That's a no-no, so give it to the Cards of Scott County. Lloyd McGuffin there. I talked to Coach McGuffin last night. What a job he's done there at West Virginia School Huntington with back-to-back state titles.
He really has. It's been kind of an interesting week, if you will, with all the things been going on here.
Hunley trying to go to Walls, throws an errant pass out of bounds. And, good defense there by Jamal Williams. He's very, very tough out there on the defense, Jamal Williams.
Well, Coach Hicks, that's one thing you didn't want to do is turn the ball over that much. Really try to limit that, especially ones like that where there's not that much defensive pressure, just kind of an unforced error.
Williams on Taylor, the great football player for Huntington. O.J. Mayo working baseline, kicks it out top, and here is Williams, and in and out. And there's a rebound by Walls. Walls does that very well, Kyle. He gets 6 boards a game.
He's well-rounded. He can do everything, driving to the basket like that.
There's Jordan Lee, sticks it back up and in. 6'7" Lee with the stick back on the runner by Walls. It rolled out, and Jordan Lee there to carry him and knock it down. 2-0, Scott County on top.
Scott County will now try to apply good defensive pressure. If they score, it gives them a chance to get the press set, and that time getting a 5-second
That
count.
pressure by Jimmy Warren, that's what we talked about at the onset, at the beginning of the game. He's such a great athlete. He caused problems out there for Michael Taylor.
Well, you can just see the different enthusiasm or spirit from the teams you look out there on the floor. Scott County's really up, got a little bounce to their step, and right now Huntington just feels like they just stepped off the bus.
Bud Mackey, he's the junior headed for IU apparently. Cameron Hunley swings it around to Warren. Warren with O.J. Mayo on him. Jordan Lee, he'll knock down to 3. He goes down low down to Hunley, back to lead, but he loses the pass. Tries to save it in bounds, and Mayo taps it out front. He's going to have a slam on the right side.
Well, Coach Hicks can't be happy with that. Again, wanted to try to control the defensive end, not allow easy baskets, so immediately a substitution comes in. Here you see just can't quite get control, throws it back in, and Mayo does a nice job running it down and finishing strong on the other end.
Second turnover of the game already, too, by the Scott County Cardinals on that errant pass by Jordan Lee. What do you do there, Kyle, when you're out of bounds like that? Did you throw it back like that, or you just throw it toward your basket?
Well, yeah, you don't want to throw it towards the other basket. So if you can't get it, you throw it to your own.
Ollie to Mackey, and the slam by Bud Mackey. Went right over top of Taylor.
Yeah, set play, a little back pick for a lob for Mackey. Nice toss and a nice finish.
Scott County, I think, just sent a message that we've come to play tonight. And Taylor knows that. Goes over to Jamal Williams. What a first half he had against Lexington Catholic a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he had the great first half, and Mayo had the great second half.
Mayo working on Mackey. Cut off, bounces, skips it over the left side. Here's Taylor from 3, off the rim. But there's Senior, the workhorse, and boy, what a battler he is down low.
Senior, just a role player, really battles down low. And here you can see on the set play, throws the back pick and throws it right up top for the nice two-handed slam.
4-2 Scott County, but the West Virginia Ball Club, Huntington has it. O.J. Mayo skips it over the left side. Taylor will launch a 3, and he's a 50% shooter, but can't get that one to go. Williams with a long rebound, though, knocked away there by Mackey, and they say off of Huntington are going to give it to Scott County. So you're right, a totally different ball game right now. It looks to me early on, Cal, that Scott County athletically matches up with Huntington.
Well, they don't have any great, outstanding players, but they played so well for so long and together so well that there is some good talent there. Don't get me wrong, but just they know how to play. They're used to playing against big games, against big competition.
Bud Mackey has it on the right side. Taylor's on him. They go down low to Walls, turns around, misses it, and pulled out of there by Patterson. Patterson with the board averages almost 12. That's Williams, but he palmed the ball working in the front court. And turn it over, and that is the 4th turnover, Kyle.
Yeah, you see that call a lot early in ball games. Officials just trying to make a statement. They're going to call that carry. And on the other end, though, we saw Walls trying to take advantage of his size by going down, posting up as a guard.
2 out of 4 from the field. Scott County, 1 out of 4 by Huntington. They're 0 for 3 from 3. Mackey trying to work baseline, knocked away by Taylor, out of bounds. Michael Taylor, a great football player.
Yeah, excuse me. Kind of interesting talking to Coach Hicks before the game. He kept using the word serious. We're going to take this game serious. And he kind of felt like from watching the Catholic game that Catholic just wasn't into it.
Walls missed it, but tipped back up and in by Lee. That's the second time tonight Lee has rescued Matt Walls. And Tyler Portwood, by the way, has just checked in. He's in the ball game now for the Cards.
Well, Portwood normally starts, but has had a little trouble at school this week, and Coach Hicks wanted to kind of get his attention.
There's Williams with the runner on the left side. Boy, what a nice roll there by Williams.
We talked in the opening about the non-celebrity starters. And,
Walls.
You can see now that they're the ones kind of stepping up, making some plays. Walls again with a good drive, drew the foul on the pull-up baseline jumper.
Well, the problem with that is if you're Huntington, you have just put Matt Walls, one of the top free throw shooters in the state, 91% on the season.
He does a real nice job, gets his routine, good shooting line, and finishes nothing but net.
Go to WSAZ.com to vote for your Applebee's Player of the Game. Be registered to win dinner for 4. Applebee's Player of the Game, Kyle, coming up.
You know, I thought that was interesting going back to the serious point. Oh, Walls missed the second one there. But, you know, Catholic had come off that loss the night before to a city opponent and really couldn't get into the game.
Senior with the strong follow there for Huntington, 7-6. Mackey with the runner, and that rolls in. A nice soft touch by Mackey.
Transition defense is big for Scott County. They can slow Huntington down when they score baskets and get their press set.
Portwood with the steal. Boy, he stepped in nicely in front of Patterson. Here's a block by Patterson. And out of bounds it goes. That is the 60th block shot for Patrick on the season, Kyle.
When you go in there, you better gather yourself and take it right to him, because if you try to just go around him, he's so long and so great timing that he can block a lot of those.
9-6, Cardinals on top, and they have possession. Jimmy Warren Walls, three-pointer right side. He knocked it down.
Enough said. I mean, he came off the screen, set his feet, got the release quick, nothing but net.
9 out of his last 12 threes, he's connected on them. He's shooting threes better than he is two-pointers. 12-6, Cardinals on top. Patterson down low. Senior, nice follow-up last time. Out to O.J. Mayo. Free throw line on Mackey, back of the rim. No, there's Patterson to clear, but Wall strips it away from him. Gets it out to Mackey. Mackey with Taylor back, stops, free throw line, jumper, in and out. There's Senior battling with Portwood, and Portwood throws it off of Senior. It'll go to Scott County.
And Scott County with each minute getting more and more confidence, and this crowd now is really into the game.
And it's a big crowd, too. Capacity here at Memorial Coliseum. Cardinals up 12-6, 3:47. We'll be back after this.
Jesus Christ is coming back for his church. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 42, "Watch therefore, for you do not know the hour your Lord is coming." I want you to know, church, that Jesus Christ could come this month, or he might come next week, or he could even come...
Up 12-6 here early in the ball game, and want to remind you the Kentucky Sport, Boat, and Recreation Show is going on now through February 4th at Heritage Hall in Rupp Arena. Stop by and see the newest models of boats and RVs, as well as great vacation getaways through Sunday at the Heritage Hall at Rupp Arena.
Take a look now, see how Huntington responds coming out of this timeout. They've been down before, in fact, down 12 points in the last game in the second half. But as we said, Scott County's got a lot of confidence now, and Huntington just maybe a little weary coming off that long road trip.
Portwood, a long pass out to Walls, and Portwood's got it left side. He lets the three go off the back, pulled down by Jordan Lee, sticks it back up and in. Lee is doing a great job on the offensive glass, and most importantly, Cal, he's 3 of 3 from the field, 6 points, and he's had some nice stick backs.
Yeah, taking real good high percentage shots, doing a good job fouling on the offensive glass.
Cards up by 8. Huntington, #1 team in the nation. O.J. Mayo to Senior. Senior might have walked, and he did. Good call. The officials tonight, Bo Queen, Don Warner, Bart Lennox. That is turnover number 7 by Huntington High.
The Highlanders trying to put the ball inside to Patterson, but Scott County doing a good job doubling, giving a lot of help to make them go to somewhere else to try to get points.
Cardinals only 2 turnovers. Tyler Portwood, I think, has come in and done a good job off the bench. Normally a starter, as Kyle said. Mackey, good matchup there with the athletic Taylor. Turns around, 15-footer, won't go, falls down, and O.J. Mayo flies in there for the rebound. Mackey right up in his grill. Warren now cuts him off. Senior wide open, gets Lee up in the air, puts it down. He's fouled. The Basco County will go to the line to foul B on Jordan Lee.
Mayo showing his all-around skills, not just a scorer, but seeing the floor, throwing the nice thread-the-needle pass down low.
First team foul.
You know, that early will give you that, season will give you those points, just solid points, not taking a lot of crazy shots, just finishing strong and getting rebounds, playing defense, and a role player that every team needs.
Shoots over 70% from the field, missed that free throw. 14-8, Cards by 6. They have the basketball. Mackey, and did he palm it? Yes, he did. Turned it over, trying to work it down low. It's the second time we've seen that palm call. They're looking for that a little bit more, aren't they?
Well, not just this game. I think all games you see that quite a bit. Early in the contest, officials want to make a statement. Mackey, maybe the last 2 possessions, trying to do a little bit too much. You know, just let the game come to you. Let the shots be there. You want to be aggressive as far as creating, but don't feel like you've got to force something to happen if it's not there. Super
6-man Chris Early has just checked in for the Highlanders. Headed to Oklahoma. Mayo cut off baseline and stepped out of bounds. Good defense there by Matt Walls and Mackey.
Right, and that's what happened. When he made his move to the baseline, Scott County ran another player over to double team, and so lost his balance and stepped on the end line before he could get rid of the ball.
Early, the young man who came in, boy, he's got a nice soft J, doesn't he, Kyle?
It really does. And you think he's a 6-man, hard he committed to Oklahoma.
Walls inside the arc, trying to go to Portwood and saves it out to Jordan Lee. He'll line up a 3 out front, and it's in and out, pulled down by Huntington. Coming out there, Taylor streaking with it. And knocked away. Good defense by Jimmy Warren, and trying to go to O.J. Mayo. Good defense by Warren.
But you can see Scott County really doing a good job defensive transition, not letting Huntington get easy baskets on the break, making them play in the half court.
Jamal Williams, and so far in the ball game, is 1 for 2, 2 points. They go down to Patrick Patterson, posting up on Lee. Won't go. Rebounded by Walls. Matt Walls with another rebound. He does that so well. That's his second rebound. Walls, runner left side, back of the rim, no. Patrick Patterson loses control of it. Lee's got another offensive glass to Portwood with the left hand up and in for Portwood.
It's like Patterson got his hand caught in the rim that time trying to block the shot. Good job by Portwood using the basket to protect the shot.
Cards have doubled up on Huntington High, 16-8, a minute 36 to go here. Gary Ball, Kyle Macy here tonight. Thanks for being with us on the CWKYT. O.J. Mayo from 3, off the rim, and flying 2, putting it back is Williams.
I'm not sure that was outside the cylinder. May have fallen in for 3 for Mayo, but that's what you call going to the offensive glass by Williams.
Yeah, Billy Hicks, I'm not sure Billy didn't think it was maybe interference as well. It was close. But you got to give him credit for his eyes he got up for.
Right.
6-foot guy, Williams. Walls out of the corner, and that's going to be off the rim, and there's a rebound by Early. Got in front of Mackey, clears it out now to Taylor. It goes to Patterson, and a slam.
Well, there's a transition. That time Scott County didn't get back, and Patterson shows one of his strengths. I think he's so impressive the way he really runs the floor.
He really does run it. Turn around, and that's off the rim by Portwood, and Patrick Patterson clears it out to O.J. He clears it out to Taylor. Mackey comes in, and he missed it, and it goes out of bounds. Let's see who it's off of. And Scott County thought it hit the player for Huntington. Now I think they may change the call and give it to Scott County.
The last time out, the fast break, you can see just a nice trail pass to Patterson, and I mean, 6'9", run the floor like that, that's impressive.
That's what we talked about the last time. That's one of the things that the college coaches that are recruiting him just drool over, is a 6'9" guy running the floor like Patrick Patterson does.
The thing I really like about him, too, is the fact he just goes about his business. He's not real flashy and not real flamboyant, doesn't really care much about the celebrity of being the basketball player that he is, but he'll go out and get you 20 and 12 about every game.
Mackey, it's good, as he takes it strong to the hole, and he's fouled. Bud Mackey, the junior, headed for Indiana University. Foul went on Early, which was his first. Mackey, 10 for 10 from the line against Clark County in the Toyota Classic the other night. And pretty good form on that one, Kyle.
Scott County shoots free throws very well. They get to the line because they attack the basket so often, so they get a lot of repetitions and shoot a high percentage.
Cards, and here's going to be too much, I think, body by Mackey. as O.J. Mayo tried to work it toward the basket.
But, you know, I think Scott County's okay with that because they feel like they've really got to limit the dribble penetration by Mayo. And if he does get by him, they'll take a foul every now and then to make Huntington have to set their offense back at half court.
20-12, Cards on top, 16 seconds. Scott County 8 out of 19 from the field. Huntington 6 out of 13 from the field, Kyle.
Going for one shot here.
O.J. loses control of it, but can't be picked up by Birchfield in there, but right side early, and he's going to be fouled, I think, by Hundley. As just coming in for Huntington. And Scott County put in the ball game Marcus Birchfield, a junior. He's in there. At the line will be early. He's headed to Oklahoma, Cal. Not bad, a six-man, first man off your bench, assigned at Oklahoma.
No, not bad, 6'7" senior, averaging about 8 points and going to the glass hard. Shooting pretty good from the free throw line, too, 82%.
Look good on that one. Chris Early.
Returning for the Cardinals,
Jordan Lee, who's done a great job on the offensive glass. Had some nice stick backs. 4 rebounds, 6 points for Jordan Lee. And of those 4, 3 of them been of the offensive variety.
2 seconds left here in the end of the first quarter. See if Scott County can get a shot off.
Early looked good on both free throws, knocked him down. And here's a steal by O.J. Mayo and tries to bank it in at the buzzer. First quarter comes to a close, and Scott County, #1 team in Kentucky, leading Huntington 19-14. We'll be back to Memorial Coliseum after this.
Mercury Toyota Silent. There's a reason we're selling more cars and trucks than anyone in the region, whether it's our low price, large selection, or our certified service department. The Fannin dealership was built with you in mind. Become a customer and see how Fannin has a way with people. I'm Chris Fannin. Let my family win your heart.
Fannin has a way with people. Fannin's gonna win your heart.
If you're not wearing Dickies, what are you wearing? Working Men's Store has all your Dickies for any occasion. Dickies cell phone shorts in 12 colors, just $19.95. Short sleeve and long sleeve shirts to match. Dickies cell phone pants in sizes 32 to 50. Dickies hooded jackets in all colors, plus Dickies hats, bib overalls, carpenter pants, and much, much more. Working Men's Store is your Dickies headquarters. Hustle in now to Working Men's Store, Huntington and Point Pleasant, the Tri-State's king of blue jeans.
And remember that in just 2 weeks, we'll be bringing you another great matchup between these two teams. On Thursday, February 15th, Huntington High School Highlanders will take on the #1 boys team in the state of Kentucky, Scott County High School Cardinals. That's Thursday, February 15th at 7:30 right here on this station.
You know, the interesting thing about that, Gary, if Huntington can win this game tonight, O.J. Mayo starts his suspension, 14 days. He'll miss 3 games, Parkersburg, George Washington, and that Scott County game back up at Cam Henderson Indoor Center there at Marshall University. So, you know, they're trying to fight for a national championship, and it may come down. Scott County, if they don't become the spoiler tonight, will have another chance in 2 weeks.
Patrick Patterson set a pick too strong out top on Walls, and I think he was called for it. Yep, they caught him. His first. 3 team fouls against both Scott County and Huntington at this point. 19-14, and Scott County Cards have it. Bud Mackey with Taylor picking him up high, and Mackey to Portwood, and Walls looking back over now to Portwood. Portwood lines up an 18-footer off the rim, and it's long rebound by Patrick Patterson to O.J. Mayo. Mayo, good knocked away by, but here's Patterson picking it up and stuffing it home.
Kind of look what I found, but again, just from running the floor, good things happen. Mayo trying to thread the needle one way, but deflection came right back to Patterson.
Cam Hundley got a hand on it there, but unfortunately knocked it right back to Patrick. And as you said, running the floor so effectively.
You know, Huntington's got to feel pretty good, even though they're down 3, not playing very well, a little slow getting started in this game, but cut it within 3 and still here early in the second quarter.
Walls. Good pass down low, and that's Ferris in there. Stick back by Walls. Ferris couldn't get it to go, but Walls picked him up just like Jordan Lee picked up Matt a couple of times early in the ball game. Early. We talked about his Jay. Here's Patterson, rebound knocked away though by Ferris out of bounds, and they're going to say it's last touch by Huntington.
Well, just made the mistake of bringing the ball down. He had the size advantage, the height advantage. Should have kept it up above his head, going right back up and finished the play.
Cardinals going with Cam Hunley. Bud Mackey's got the ball. Matt Walls, Richie Ferris, the 6'6" super sophomores in there now, and Ty Portwood. Mackey shaking and baking out there on Taylor and throws it up. Patterson gets a hand. Mackey gets it back and throws it. No. Ferris battling. Patterson pulls it out of there. And here's a bust out to Williams. Drives down on Walls with the left hand. Won't go, and a foul's going to be called.
You know, that was a big play on the other end with Patterson not committing that foul. I did a good job of holding his ground as Mackey was trying to draw that second foul on him. Could maybe change complexion. But, again, holding his ground, getting the rebound, outlet pass, and Williams flaring down the left side.
Williams at the line, an outstanding free throw shooter.
But you can definitely see that Huntington is a much better team in transition, getting the ball out on the floor, using their athletic ability, spacing, and whether it's a lob play or going strong to the glass.
Williams missed the second one, 83%, tapped up and in by Early.
They're just not doing a good job blocking off that time by Scott County.
Highlanders have it down to 2. Bud Mackey launches a 3, in and out. There's Patterson. What a rebound by Patterson. Now they clear it out. A high pass, though, as Jamal Williams throws it over the head of Michael Taylor out of bounds. And that is turnover number 10 by the Highlanders.
Yeah, too many turnovers. But, again, Coach Hicks has got to be a little concerned. Mackey maybe with a quick shot, and it led to a 2-on-1. Now, Huntington didn't execute and finish, but they were in position with the 2-on-1. You give them enough opportunities, they're going to start capitalizing on those.
Cardinals, Bud Mackey loses control of it, now regains, hands it to Matt Walls, and Scott County getting into their offense, Kyle. Free throw jumper by Hunley, back of the rim, no. Patterson, another rebound for Patrick Patterson. He now has 8-9 rebounds. O.J. Mayo from 3, off the rim, and stuck back up and in for Huntington. Jamal Williams. We were blocked by the official right here in front of us. That was Williams, I think, who stuck it back. We're tied at 21. 5:40. Matt Walls, he'll let a 3 rip on the right side. That's off the rim, but Ferry's there to collect. Richie Ferris sticks it up, no. Gets his second chance and banks it in. Richie Ferris, a good job with staying with the Kyle.
Well, real good crashing the offensive glass because Huntington has some weaknesses there. Now Huntington on the other end trying to run again, get a quick basket.
Mayo to Williams. Back to O.J. And here's a pass. It's going to be picked off by Walls. High pass, and Walls clears it out to Bud Mackey. He drives down, slapped away by O.J. Mayo out of bounds. And give it back to the Cards, and I think Mackey was setting up for a slam there.
There's going to be a highlight film there, but Mayo with good hands. Now, Huntington Scott County last couple of possessions, they get into their offense, but for me, they're taking the shot a little bit too quickly. You know, they had a little lead, even though now they're up 2 after being tied. They want to be a little more patient, get a better shot. Clock's in their favor as long as you've got the lead, so don't be in such a hurry. Make maybe 5, 6, 7 passes, not just 2 or 3.
Matt Walls with a strong move, high off the window, no. Ferries taps, and it comes out of there to O.J. Mayo.
2-on-1.
Bounces right side. Williams high off the window, no, but he's fouled. Jordan Lee's back in there, along with Jimmy Warren, as Cam Hunley and Portwood went to the Scott County bench.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you take some quick shots or miss maybe some easy shots. No one's in position to get back, and here is a 2-on-1 break. And even though he missed it, you can see he kind of got rubbed across the shoulder there, and it will go to the free throw line.
Williams on the game, 7 points.
You know, Mayo averaging almost 30 points a game, but just plays like that, very unselfish. You wonder if he shot every time, how many he could average. Obviously not best for the team, but you could really put up some big numbers if he wanted to.
Williams hit them both and tied it up at 23. Second time, good pass to Jordan Lee. Turns around, lays it up and in. Real good entry pass there to Lee.
Real good. Early got caught on the high side. Lee did a nice job sealing and then going strong.
Mayo working on Jimmy Warren. Pair of 32s there, Kyle, working on each other. Not that that really matters, but here's early blocked by Lee. Walls taps, and Patterson stays with it, no. And Scott County last touched it. It'll go back to Huntington, but that's good work there by Scott County.
That's good basketball sense by Patterson, too. Just keeping the ball live off the glass. And Scott County, now you see, moving the ball around and a nice pass down low with Lee posting up and finishing.
O.J. Mayo has it. Kicks it out top, and here's Taylor, a high arcing 3, no, and Walls there battling with Lee, and Lee pulls it down for the Cards.
Huntington rely a little bit too much on the outside shot right now.
Jimmy Warren loses control of it momentarily, kicks it back out to Lee. Lee now saves it out near the timeline. Big 6'7" Jordan Lee. Needs some help now. Gives it over to Mackey, and he is going to be fouled on a reach by Taylor.
I think Scott County definitely has Huntington's attention right now. You can see Huntington trying to extend their defense and being a little bit too aggressive.
Well, you look at the scoring, Kyle Macy. Mayo only 2 points, but remember he only had 6 at halftime against Catholic
Right.
and finished with 37.
Right, so he's very capable of having a big second half. But, you know, like I said, I think Huntington's got their ears perked back up now. They understand Scott County is serious, and they're here to play and give them a good, hard game, try to win this game.
Richie Ferris on senior banks it in, and they're going to call a travel before the shot by Richie Ferris, the sophomore. Nice move, but shoveled the feet a little bit.
Timeout on the floor.
3:59, Cards by 2. We'll be back to Memorial Coliseum on the CWKYT.
Enjoy the beautiful colors of autumn with your family at Greenbow Lake State Resort Park. Get away, but stay close to home. We have the perfect package for you. Visit Greenbow Lake State Resort Park today.
Right now at Applebee's, your favorites are coming together. Appetizer, entree, and dessert. It's Applebee's original 3-course combos, starting at $9.99. Dig into zesty Fiesta lime chicken, a crispy quesadilla, and a gooey, chewy blondie. 3 courses, 3 combos. Applebee's 3-course combos, starting at $9.99. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
WSAZ News on Demand on your computer. Play video clips of stories or first warning weather from WSAZ newscasts. Anytime, at home or at work, immediately. Start here, WSAZ.com, and select the video link from the menu. WSAZ News on Demand.
And the Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show is going on now through February 4th at Heritage Hall, Rupp Arena. Stop to see the newest models of boats and RVs, as well as get a great vacation getaway. Through Sunday at the Heritage Hall at Rupp Arena. 25-23 under 4 minutes, and Kyle, I agree with you totally. I think Scott County definitely has the Highlanders' attention.
Well, you could see coming out Huntington a little careless with the basketball, and that's why they've got 12 turnovers at this point, with Scott County only having 5. But, you know, Scott County playing with a lot of pride. Coach Hicks talking before the game, we're not only playing for Scott County, Georgetown, and the Lexington area, but we're playing for the entire state, being the #1 ranked team in the state, trying to uphold that image of high school basketball here in the state of Kentucky.
Cards shooting 37%, where the Highlanders shooting 40%. And the Highlanders 0 for 8 from 3, Kyle. 1 out of 6 by Scott County.
Well, that's why I said you kind of want to go to the basket a little bit more and get some shots to fall in, and then you relax and start shooting a little bit better from outside.
Taylor kicks it over to Jamal Williams, to O.J. Mayo, scoops it back over to Early, hangs up, knocks it down.
That's a little bit better job attacking the basket, leads you an easy basket.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
Early with the finish. Mackey for the Cards. Jordan Lee, I think, has played well, Kyle.
Yeah, he has. Looking for a lob now for him.
Grabs it, puts it in, just as we talk about it.
And just a nice call at the timeout by Billy Hicks. That was, you could tell they drew that up. The first offensive possession, this is what we're going to run. It worked to perfection.
Kyle, he's 5 out of 6, 10 points, 5 boards for Jordan Lee. 27-25, Mayo with the hook shot, and it rolls out. Sticks it back up, no. Early, there's Senior with the rebound and battle for it, and Jordan Lee's going to pull it out for the Cards. Mackey now wanting to push the issue. Over to Walls. He gives in the corner. Portwood lines up a 3, bullseye.
That's Scott County basketball right there.
Yeah, to a perfection. Here comes O.J. Mayo. He lines up a 3 off the rim. They still haven't hit a 3-pointer. Mackey.
You know, the first thing to go when you're tired is your legs, and you start shooting everything a little bit short.
Lee chases it down on the base, gives it the Walls, but O.J. strips it out of there to Taylor. He's got a bust out on Mackey. Mackey blocks it. And let's see, but it's picked up by Williams. Well, what a block by Mackey, a foul call. I think Jimmy Warren's going to pick that up, but a super block there by Mackey just would not be denied, Kyle.
Great timing, slapped it against the glass, and all of a sudden the crowd really got into the game. But we'll watch the timing as he comes back on the defensive end. Again, Scott kind of giving up a break, but Mackey just reading it and timing it and pinning it on the glass.
That will send Williams to the free throw line. Williams, an 82% free throw shooter. Looking at the free throw shooting, Cards have only shot 3. They've made 2 of them. And that is now 5 out of 7 by the Highlanders from the line. Good ball game, Kyle.
Real good game. You know, both teams now, I think, into it. We've got a contest the rest of the way.
Jamal knocked them both down. Williams got a good first half going. 11 points. He had 12 in the first half against Catholic. Portwood, a high arcer right side, won't go. And they're trying to save it in, but stepping out is Jamal Williams. So give it to the Cards. They're up 30-27, 2:25 here. And Lloyd McGuffin there calling out the fist play. I'm sure that's some kind of defense on the inbounds.
Yeah, Portwood not shy tonight, coming out 6 shots already. It didn't start the game, but coming out and looking to score.
Brandon Hutchinson, who just came in, I think is going to be whistled for a grab on Scott. That's going to be the call on Scott County. Brandon, as he grabbed Mackey. So Brandon Hutchinson picks up the first foul of the ball game for him. 2:25, Portwood trying to put it in play for the Cardinals. Walls over to Jimmy Warren. Back over to Walls. He'll launch a long three. He got it.
Kid's impressive. I mean, he just does so many things well. Not flashy on any one thing, but can pass, can shoot. He's got good size and good strength.
Made 10 out of his last 15 three-point attempts, Kyle, with that three-pointer.
So he's kind of feeling it, I'd say.
Kind of feeling it. Hutchinson, goes to try to go back to Mayo. Mackey flies to him, grabs it. Here comes Bud Mackey. Going over to Walls. Walls left side, another three. Back of the rim, no. Tyler Portwood, though, with the rebound. And a reverse pass to Warren. He lets a 10-footer go. In and out. Rebounded by Early. Here come the Highlanders. Early. And he traveled. And, you know, the reason he traveled, Jimmy Warren with that quickness came up. And when he came down early, saw him coming up to play the tough defense.
He kind of surprised him. Came from the blind side there with the half-court trap. And just not used to handling it out there against good pressure. But the tempo of the game definitely picked up now. Both teams wanting to run.
The leading scorer, Lee, has 10 for Scott County, 11 for Patrick Patterson, check 11 rebounds, 11 points for Williams. He had 12 in the first half against Catholic. Warren's got it over there on the right side to Jordan Lee. He hands it back to Walls, and he'll let it go from out there, and that's not going to draw anything. Probably a little bit too far out of his range there, Cal.
Yeah, kind of an NBA three, if not even further than that. So he'll get a little break here, get a chance to sit down, catch his breath, so maybe get the next one go down.
Jordan Adams will come in for him. He is a 6-foot junior. Adams in there. A minute 19 here. And the Cards leading by 6 here over this #1 team in the nation, the Huntington Highlanders out of West Virginia.
As you look out there, Scott County, really, Warren normally doesn't start. So really only 2 starters on the floor for the Cardinals.
O.J. Mayo won't go. Back of the rim. Portwood gives it over to Adams, who just came in for Walls. Mackey lets a three rip, and he got it. Boy, they're starting to find their trays, aren't they, with Walls and Mackey hitting those. 4 out of 11 now for the Cards, and Huntington 0 for 10 from 3.
And Huntington has really stopped running now, going to the half-court game. And Scott County will transfer 2 for 1 anytime. That time over the back foul on the offensive rebound.
Yeah, Patterson went over the back on the O.J. Mayo miss, and you were talking about them trying to get that second foul on him. They do here with 38 seconds to go. They get the second one on the big guy, Pat Patterson.
Tough call here. Do you leave him in for the last 38 knowing it's just one defensive stop? Scott County look to see if they go right at him now. Try to take advantage, get that third one at halftime.
It's 9-point lead, Cal, the largest lead that Scott County's had in the ball game. Yep. And they've got possession. They got Matt Walls back in there, too. You notice they got him in there for
the offensive team.
Exactly. Walls hands it over to Ty Portwood. Portwood's played well. Hit a big three out of the corner. Portwood working it on Early. Gives it back to Matt Walls. 19 seconds. O.J. Mayo on him. Walls hands it to Bud Mackey. Mackey. He's pushed, and let's see who they call it on. O.J. and Taylor were there. And let's see who they called that on.
I think it was on Taylor.
Yeah, they were both. Could have been called on either one, really.
No, they're trying to get a double team when the players cross. It's an excellent time to get a gap there and double team, but just a little bit too aggressive. Got a hand for the handshake and got called, so Mackey will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Cam Hunley and Jimmy Warren will come back in. Go to WSAZ.com to vote for your Applebee's player of the game and be registered to win a dinner for 4. Mackey up there, as I said, he's really starting to hit the free throws for this Scott County basketball team. 10 out of 10 against Clark County when he had a career high 33 last Friday night in the Toyota Classic. So really starting to hit the free throws.
2 for 2 here tonight, and you can tell as a junior, late in his junior year, just playing with a lot of confidence, has that burden off his shoulders, already committed to college, just going out there playing and having fun.
Mackey knocks them both down. The lead is the largest, 11 for the Cards with 10 seconds. Mayo in front, over Walls, and rattles it in. Get it to Matt Walls, he looks up and throws one up for three-quarter court. It's going to be well short. The Cardinals 38, Huntington Highlanders 29. And boy, Scott County fans are on their feet here at Memorial Coliseum. And golly, certainly have come out here tonight.
They really have. Great crowd. I'd guessed about, I don't know, 7,200 is my guess.
And
tonight.
you counted every one of them, didn't you?
Not yet.
And we'll be back here from Memorial Coliseum with halftime. The Cards leading the Highlanders 38-29. Go down low, it's kicked there, and it will be Taylor, Williams, O.J. Mayo, senior, and Patrick Patterson. Your same five for Huntington. Patterson does have the 2 fouls, picked up the second when they're late in the first half.
Yeah, kind of interested to see there what Billy Hicks' set call was there to start the second half, and just had an open player, couldn't get the pass through, got kicked.
Walls dumps it to Jordan Lee, scoops it up, no, and cleared out there by senior. Long pass now to Jamal Williams. He'll go down on Bud Mackey, lay it up, and it counts. I don't know how he got that to go.
Good hang time. It may have actually had a teammate open for an easier 2-on-1, but just a good athletic move. Here you see the fast break. The ball doesn't touch the floor much when they break. 2 players release, and 1 dribble takes it to the hole, and like I said, good hang time finishing.
I'm not sure Bud fouled him there. I mean, it looked like he went up with him, but anyway, they get the call, and Huntington will take it. Jimmy Warren, and it's blocked by Patterson. And senior has it knocked away, and they're going to give it back to Huntington. They say Warren and Cam Hunley got a hand on it. Billy Hicks talking to his ball club. 38-32, Cardinals leading by, we talked about the first few minutes of this quarter.
Well, the Highlanders, as you can see, the first 2 defensive possessions have really picked up their intensity, picked up a little further out on the floor and trying to get the game tempo to go a little bit more to their advantage. Michael
Taylor, what a great football player he is too there at Huntington High. There's Williams, free throw line, Jay, and a long rebound by Jimmy Warren. Clears it out to Mackey. Mackey picking up the issue. Trying to go down low, picked off O.J. Mayo, trying to go to Lee. Mayo there with a good hands. He does it all, doesn't he? Steals, block shots, and he palmed the basketball after he knocked down a 3, but that is 16 turnovers by the Highlanders, just 7 by the Cards. Well, Lloyd McGuffin. 4 possessions so far for Huntington, and still Patterson has not touched the ball on the offensive end. I'm sure he will, though. He better if they want to have a chance to win. Cameron Hunley works it across for the Cards. Hunley to Walls, lets a 3 go, and that's the back of the rim. No, Patterson taps. Senior with the rebound. He clears it out to Jamal Williams. The thing about it, every time Senior's getting that rebound, Kyle, he's looking all the way down floor, isn't he? He is. Scott kind of doing a good job of jamming him, though, kind of double teaming. So Mayo over to Lee. Back of the rim, no, and that's a long rebound by Walls. 2-on-2, trying to clear it out, stolen by O.J. Mayo. And it's stolen back by Hunley on the back tap by Walls. Mayo hits the floor. They go to Mackey. He'll line up a 3, and it won't go. And Lee trying to tap it. There's Walls with the stick back, got it. It's 11 now for Matt. Long pass. O.J. Mayo slams it home. Patterson trying to do it all on the defensive rebounding end. Somebody's got to get back there. Huntington releasing 2, at that time not 3 players of the offensive glass, which is fine if you get a stop, but when Scott County can go to the glass, get a second, third shot. Mackey, and they're going to call travel on Bud. They're working on Taylor of Huntington, and then they start talking a little bit about it. Here you see Patterson couldn't gain control, and Scott County right there to finish play, a second chance points. Cardinals by 6. Here's Taylor working across on Jimmy Warren. Taylor with a runner short, and I don't think anybody touched it for Scott. Senior thought a player from the Cardinals touched it, but they're going to say air ball, and they're going to give it to Scott County. Oh, good. Again, not much movement with players or basketball, that offense possession. Mackey, a 12-footer won't go, and it's knocked out by Jamal Williams. And the reason it was knocked out is Jimmy Warren was right there with him. A great football player for the Cards, and just they call him the Warriors. They call Jimmy Warren they say he's the warrior of this football and basketball team now. Looks like he spent a little bit of time in the weight room. Yep. Walls had that stick back. Going down low to Lee with the left hand, rolls out, went halfway down, rebounded by Senior. Billy Hicks wanted interference. Patterson going over to Taylor, to Senior. Senior drives down, runs over Warren, banks it in.
Well, senior again, not flashy, but gets the job done. Just a regular layup.
Walls high out the window. Boy, he did have to put that up high over Patterson, didn't he, Kyle?
Sure did, but a good transition basket.
Mayo, 15-foot floater, got it.
Little schoolyard now, both teams just back and forth.
42-38, Cards by 4, under 5 minutes now. Lee, way out front, he'll line up a three. Back of the rim, no. And chased down by Huntington. That's Jamal Williams tracking it down to Taylor. Taylor crossing. He thought about the three there, didn't he, Cal?
He did. He had a gap, though. If he'd gone to his left, the middle of the lane, then would have had a 2-on-1. Probably could have thrown a lob to Patterson, but instead kicks it back out and resets the offense.
Mayo, the senior, he might have got away with the walk. No, he did not travel. Another turnover by the Highlanders. That would be number 18.
You know something's not right, though, if senior is getting some of the offensive opportunities, because his role really is just to get offensive boards, put them right back, or get passes for lay-in baskets. But if they're going to in the last 2 possessions to get some points, you can tell the ball's not moving like it normally is, and they're not getting the players they want to score with the basketball in position to score.
Marcus Birchfield is in, Richie Ferris and Ty Portwood for the Cards to join Mackey and Walls. That's Birchfield. He goes to Portwood, swinging around the Walls. Well, they're being patient here now with 4:14. Richie Ferris, a sophomore, 15-footer, rolls out, and I think senior might have climbed over the back. Good box out down there by 5'10" Marcus Birchfield to block out on Bruce Senior, goes 6'6".
Birchfield, like I said, just sat on his knees, and you can't jump when a guy's sitting on your legs, so it'd be a good inside position, held his ground.
Mackey, Portwood to Walls. O.J. Mayo on him, Walls posting him up to Portwood. Tyler working on senior. Birchfield has it. He's shuffled his feet, turned it over to Huntington High. 3:58, 42-38. Cards still leading by 4, but remember, they're late in the first half. They led by 11, led by 9, and I think Billy Hicks wants to talk about it.
Yeah, Coach McGuffin, I think Huntington wants to call a little timeout and try to get his offense on track.
We'll be back. 42-38. Cards leading under 4 minutes here in the third quarter.
Right now at Applebee's, your favorites are coming together. Appetizer, entree, and dessert. It's Applebee's original 3-course combos. Sink into succulent shrimp and Parmesan sirloin, a creamy spinach dip, and a dreamy dessert. 3 courses, 3 combos. Applebee's 3-course combos, starting at $9.99. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
My Double Dollar Deals, where you can get great deals from local restaurants and merchants. Every week there's another great deal. $50 in gift certificates for only $25. Just go to myztv.tv and click on the Double Dollar Deals logo. Pick your deal, pay by credit or debit card, and your certificates are sent within 3 business days. New Double Dollar Deals are being added weekly, so check back often for the latest. My Double Dollar Deals on myztv.tv.
Going on now through February 4th at Heritage Hall and Rupp Arena. Stop by to see the newest models of boats and RVs, as well as great vacation getaways. Through Sunday at Heritage Hall at Rupp Arena.
Great atmosphere here for a high school basketball game, and not the first time that's happened, though. Back in '83, Henry Clay took on the Matha team. '86, Lafayette took on another real good team out of Indiana, Marion. And '98, Lexington Catholic knocked off Chicago Whitney, which
Lexington teams had some success against highly ranked teams, haven't they?
They sure have.
And the Cards playing Huntington High tough here, up 4 with 3:52 to go in the third quarter. Gary Ball, Kyle Macy here at Memorial Coliseum. O.J. Mayo has it on Mackey. Mayo's headed to Southern Cal, 15-footer, front of the rim, no. Rebounded out there. I tell you, Birchfield, toughness in there. Birchfield in trouble, though, and he calls a quick timeout, and they get it. But I tell you, I like the grittiness and toughness of Marcus Birchfield, the junior. He's coming there. You know, we saw him in there when he first came in with a good box out on senior, drawing the foul on senior over the back. We see him there with a nice rebound. So, you know, that's what we talked about at the beginning of the game, Kyle, is the role players coming in playing key roles in this game.
Well, the good thing he did that time was didn't panic when he got in the trap. He just kept the ball moving, pivoting, staying away, and realized he couldn't make the pass. He didn't throw it away, didn't step out of bounds, but realized he couldn't do anything with it, so they had to call a timeout. But that's okay. Just a quick 30-second timeout. We'll get right back. They still regain possession of the basketball.
In front of a great crowd here tonight at Memorial Coliseum. They just announced it's 7,500. That's pretty much capacity, Kyle.
I was pretty close. A couple people snuck in on me. I guess they're late right to start games. I think I said, what, 7,200?
Yes, you did. You were very close. Total rebounds, Huntington 31, Scott County 27. They have 14 offensive rebounds through the Cards. Second chance points, Scott County leading that 14-8, Kyle.
And that's been big for Scott County. They haven't made all their first shots, but they're doing a good job crashing the glass, which you would think with the size of Patterson they wouldn't get many of those. But because Huntington releases so much, it opens up some of those second, third attempts.
To Mackey, right side, hangs up in the air, puts it over Patterson, knocks it down.
Another call out of the timeout with a backdoor cut by Mackey.
Mayo scoops up and in. Mayo said, okay, I can match that. Touche. Walls.
Two nice athletic slide moves by both offensive players.
Portwood high off the window. No, there's Richie Ferris flying through, but Patterson clears it out to O.J. Mayo. Mayo spinning around, loses control of it, tracks it down. 3 minutes now here in the third quarter. Cardinals 44, Huntington High 40. O.J. Mayo from three, off the left side, and there's a rebound, though, by Taylor, sticks it out, no, and Patterson slaps it out of bounds with the left hand. And Patrick might just be a little bit frustrated there if he slapped out when you could tell a little frustration because, as you said, he really hadn't had a lot of touches.
Yeah, he hadn't many touches at all. And Taylor also just can't seem to get on track. That time a good follow, but then when he went to the other side of the glass, just kind of missed a wide open layup.
Patrick just 2 out of 4 from the field, does have 12 rebounds. Mackey. And here's going to be a grab there on the move by Bud Mackey. And Taylor grabbed him.
Mackey feels like he's got the size advantage and is trying to stay very aggressive every time he receives the ball. Third foul that time on Taylor.
44-40, 2:39, and Birchfield to Walls. Knocked away there by senior. Lead out to O.J. Mayo, and the dunk. Two-hand tomahawk.
It's turned up the speed there when he got the open run out there. Good.
12 points now for Mayo. Lead just 2 for the Cards, and Mackey to Walls. He'll let a 3 rip out front. Got it. Well, that's what you got to have when you got the authoritative dunk on this end by O.J. You got to have an answer, and that time Walls answered for the Cards.
But also, too, Walls answered the fact that last time he got his shot blocked, but didn't bother him, came right back out and hit a nice wide open jumper.
Absolutely. Williams right side out to Taylor to go to O.J. Mayo. Mackey on him. Mayo goes baseline. Little floater. Won't go. And they're battling Patterson and senior. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul called. And that's senior again, the blue-collar warrior for this Highlander basketball team.
Talking about the speed of O.J. Mayo. Here you see the block from behind. Now watch the Jets kick in when the pass from Williams is thrown on up ahead. And one stride out top from the lane and knocks it down with 2 hands. These afterburners just kicked in.
Mayo in the corner to Williams. Down low to go to Patrick, and ball knocked away in a reaching foul. I think Portwood's going to be whistled for that. Tyler reached in trying to strip it.
Well, that time they did look down low to Patterson, but then you can see the adjustment Scott County's making. They're running another player at him. That time it was Portwood, which does leave Early open. That's why Early's been able to get a couple of attempts. But again, he's your star player. You got to go to him.
Taylor, 15-footer high arcer, and there is Mackey to clear the miss. That was, by the way, that foul was the second one on Portwood. Jimmy Warren to Portwood out of the corner, launches a 3, bullseye.
A great ball movement that time by the Cardinals, just around the perimeter for wide open 3.
And did you see the senior Matt Walls? He was telling his teammate Warren, pitch it, get it over to Portwood, and he did. As Jimmy heard him, got it over to Portwood, knocked down another big 3. Second big 3, runner off the window, no. Patterson with authority.
Well, if they're not going to give it to me, I'm going to go get it.
My goodness, that was humongous. Patrick Patterson, 50-44. Here come the Cards in a reach from behind, and that's going to be big. That's going to be number 4 on Michael Taylor.
Yeah, bad decision that time by Taylor. Mackey looked a little bit out of control, but here you see the drive by Mayo. Didn't get it to go, but right there with the long right arm, Patrick Patterson.
Was that a frustration stick back, maybe?
I think a little bit of anger now.
A little bit of, I'm a little riled up here. I got my dander up. I'm going to knock it down here. And he sure did. 50-44. A minute here in the third. Bud Mackey. Well, I've been impressed with the junior Mackey for the Cards. The defense he's played, Kyle.
He's got an advantage out there, too, now. Scott County will use some clock, maybe even go for 1 with only 50 seconds here. But as you look with Hutchinson guarding him, about 4 or 5 inches and a little bit of speed and quickness, maybe advantage.
Mackey over to Warren. Jimmy with the left hand, rolls out, Goes back, gets it on Patterson, throws it up, no, and here comes Hutchinson out there. Leads it out to Williams. Jamal drives down on Walls, hangs up, and banks it in. Good hang time there by Williams.
Yeah, he's got that move down. Excellent. Jumps into the player, uses the hang time like you said, and then finishes off the glass.
Walls spinning out there for the Cardinals.
Now we'll see if they go for one.
Yep, down to 15 seconds. Cardinals still up by 4, but Huntington's making a run here. Mackey, strong move to the basket, and we're going to have a reach this time on Huntington's Jamal Williams.
Huntington's defense is not very good tonight in the fact that they're not playing position defense. They're doing a lot of gambling. That time you can see an open gap to the basket, and Mackey doing a good job of exploring it and taking it hard and drawing the foul.
O.J. Mayo tonight, 6 out of 20 from the field. So you got to talk about defense right there. Mackey's been played on him.
Now 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
We talked about this young man, the way he's really picked up his free throw shooting. It started against Clark County last Friday night when he was 10 out of 10 on the Toyota Classic. He hasn't missed many since.
Well, this Scott County team has been tested. I mean, they've played a tough schedule and have had some success in that tough schedule. Not just played the games, but have also won 2 of the 3 challenge games. The Arlington team, as well as the St. Joseph's team.
Mayo stepped on his sideline right in front of us here. Turn it over. By the way, look at the scoring. 16 for Wall, 16 for Mackey. The big guys have stepped up for the Cards. 16 for Jamal Williams, 12 for O.J. Mayo. Patterson does have 13 boards to go with his 6 points.
And I think, like we talked in the opening, it's been kind of the key of the other starters, how they played or have not played up to what they can do.
Portwood throws it up, and it won't bank in for him. So that's it for the third quarter. Cardinals hanging tough, Kyle. 52-46, still holding on to the 6-point lead.
1 quarter to go.
1 quarter to go, 8 minutes. We'll be back. The border battle here at Memorial Coliseum.
Jesus Christ is coming back for his church. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 24 verse 42, watch therefore, for you do not know the hour your Lord is coming. I want you to know, church, that Jesus Christ could come this month, or he might come next week, or he could even come.
As we head to the final quarter of action, Gary Ball, Kyle Macy, 3-point shooting, Cal, something that you obviously, you could shoot outside a little bit, but listen to this, 6 out of 17 for the Cards, 0 for 12 behind the arc. And this is a basketball team, when you look at the Highlanders, that just shoots lights out from 3. I mean, I think coming into this ball game, if I'm not mistaken, Taylor was like 50% from 3. O.J. Mayo was like 46% from 3. They're 0 for 12.
Yeah, normally a very good 3-point shooting team, but I think one thing we've seen tonight that they haven't been able to do is get that inside-out attack. They haven't been able to get the ball into Patterson and allow him to kick it back out there where they can get the rhythm on the shot. And that's just to Scott County's credit, the way they've been defending the Highlanders. Scott County doing a pretty good job making those threes, taking when they're there. If not, forcing it, going strong to the glass and drawing some fouls.
Hutchinson, Mayo, Williams, Patrick Patterson, and in there now is Chris Early for the green and gold Highlanders. Mayo down the lane, runs over top of a player, puts it in.
O.J. going to try to pick it up the tempo now and take over this game if he can.
That is 14 for Mayo. Walls was 16 for the Cardinals. Hands it, trying to get it to Mackey. He's got 16. They've got 32 of the 52. The big 2 for the Cards. Jimmy Warren working in and cut off by Mayo and Patterson in trouble. Gets it to Jordan Lee. The Walls. Now goes to Portwood off the window. No, stuck back. No. There's Jimmy Warren to clear it for Scott. Turns around. No, and there's Jordan Lee with a stick back again.
Excellent offensive glass by the Cardinals. Just pounding that glass.
Lead 6 for the Cards with 7:13 to go. Let's see what O.J. Mayo and the Highlanders have here for the good pass to Patrick Patterson, but he can't handle it. Little high and goes out of bounds. Turn it over. That is number 20 now for the Highlanders on the TOs.
Smart play by the Cardinals, though. They ran a second man at O.J. to make him give the basketball up, and that time Patterson just took his eye off it for a second, went right through his hands.
The Cardinal defense tonight, Scott County's defense has been stellar.
It has been. They've shown a lot of different looks to the Highlanders.
Mackey trying to get the pass from Walls. Can't handle it. Picked off. Here's O.J. Mayo. Mayo down the middle of the floor. It's got Patterson left, and he palmed the basketball. Official right there on top of it. That's turnover 21 now.
O.J. looking over like, what did I do? Wasn't sure about that. But anytime you get your hand underneath the basketball, officials looking to make that call.
Lloyd McGuffin can just sit and watch as his ball club down 6 to the state's #1 team in Kentucky, the Cardinals. They'll play again coming up in a couple of weeks in Huntington, Kyle. Mackey to Portwood. Good track down by Portwood. Here's Jordan Lee out of the baseline, off the rim. And there it goes with the rebound. Jimmy Warren, what an athlete. To Mackey, hook shot, yes.
Another offensive glass. Huntington just killing themselves by giving up second, third, fourth attempts. But to Scott County's credit, they're crashing.
That is 19 offensive rebounds by the Cards. Here's O.J. Mayo, 15-footer, bullseye.
A great individual one-on-one play, but it's really percentages against you if you're trying to make a comeback after being down 8.
O.J. equals Williams 16 now. Mackey leads everybody with 18, Walls 16, and Jordan Lee a dozen. 56-50 Cards, 6:05. Mackey hangs up, won't go. Lee taps, Mackey gets it back, and he's going to be fouled. Early was there, and he and Mackey mix it up a little bit. I think the foul's going to be on Early.
Yeah, Mackey got away with the carry of his own that time, crossed it over up above his shoulders, but missed a shot again. Scott County crashing the glass. So Huntington's got to understand we can't release 3 or 4 guys if they're going to crash the glass. Yeah, one maybe can go, but we've got to get 4 guys rebounding and then throw it down long.
Second foul on Early. Of course, Taylor, the only one in critical foul with 4 fouls. Mackey just keeps knocking down free throws, Kyle, and but he doesn't go down and touch the socks and rub the socks like Mr. Macy used to do. I used to love to watch you shoot free throws because it was all about the repetition and the way you did it. And you shot, well, you led the nation, I think, in your 93, 94%.
It's all routine, and Mackey has an excellent routine, and it's working for him right now, playing with a lot of confidence.
58-50 to Cards, up 8. Their biggest lead has been 11. O.J. Mayo, though.
Yeah, they'll run at Mayo to make him give the ball up, make somebody else.
Hutchinson can shoot the 3. That one's off the mark, though. Rebounded by Warren, spinning out of there, kicks it over to Walls. Crossover by Matt, hangs up, puts it in. Walls now with 18, and the lead 10 for the Cards.
Scott County starting to sense a little bit.
Yep. 5:35 to play. Highlanders, of course, with the weapons they've got.
Here comes Mackey to double team.
Yep. O.J. Mayo scissors between them. Stops, kicks it over the right side. Here's Jamal Williams off the rim. They still haven't hit a 3. Williams blocked by Lee. And there's a save in by Scott County, but a bad pass. Trying to go to Walls, and they lead him a little bit too much. But I'll tell you what, I like the aggressiveness there of Scott County, though, to get that out and pass. Say, hey, guy, let's go with it.
Yeah, no time to sit back and wait. You want to stay aggressive, you got to lead, you build a lead, keep building upon that lead. So a good defensive stop and just get a little bit too far ahead of his teammate.
Bud Mackey, 20 points. Walls, 18. Williams has 16. O.J. Mayo, 16. They're 0 out of 14 behind the arc, a team that shoots it. Yeah. Unbelievable behind the arc.
But as we look at the timeouts, you can see Coach Hicks before was really talking to Walls about go get the basketball. You're one of our ball handlers. Once you go get it, don't let him throw it away. And Coach McGuffin trying to really excite his team and say, look, guys, we've got to go strong every possession. We've got to get some stops. They're going to double team Mayo, so somebody's got to step up, catch it, attack the basket, pull up jump shot, or make a nice pass for a layup. Patterson down low.
O.J. is 8 out of 22 from the field, Kyle, tonight. And that's, I tell you what, you got to credit the Scott County defense a little bit with that. I'm sure they've had a lot to do with that. And also go to WSAZ.com to vote for your Applebee's Player of the Game and be registered to win dinner for 4.
Well, it's been a great game plan by Billy Hicks as far as making someone else have to beat you. And tonight they've caught a Huntington team that's a little bit flat and hadn't been shooting the ball very well at all.
Jamal Williams, right side, off the mark. Patrick Patterson, stick back, yes.
Now Huntington picks up full court pressure, trying to change the tempo.
Lead 8 for the Cards. Here comes Bud Mackey. Mackey kicks, knocked away there by Senior, trying to go to Portwood in the corner, and good recognition there by Bruce Senior. His dad is a social studies teacher there at the Huntington High School. Great student. Here's the ball knocked away, but right to Warren, shovels it back over to Jordan Lee, sticks it up over Patterson.
Kind of get the feeling this might be Scott County's night with a deflection pass like that going right for a basket.
O.J. Mayo, three-pointer right side, says hold it over there, Kyle Macy. It's 19 for O.J. Here's Walls with the runner. That's front of the rim, no. Thought he was pushed. Here comes O.J. Mayo. Right side, he'll line up a three, in and out, and tapped around, and Senior's got it to Patterson. He'll reverse it up. No, Senior battling, and we're going to have a grab called, I think, on Portwood. 4:20 to go, and Tyler Portwood, I think, is going to pick up his third. Billy Hicks just holds his hand straight up and says, what?
Well, the question now is the fact that it's, a 7-point game, 4:20 to play. When does Scott County all of a sudden try to use some more clock? Because that time took a little quick shot.
Mayo's long three-pointer won't go. Portwood taps, and Jamal Williams flies through and rebounds it for Huntington. Tries to go to O.J. Mayo, but he tips it over. Here's Taylor from three. Back of the rim, no. But Senior rebounds, dumps it to Patterson, and a dunk.
Well, Senior's giving everything he's got out there, really stepping it up a notch, and Patterson started picking up at a well, but still those outside shots aren't falling. Now we'll see how Scott County counters.
Double-double now for Patrick, 10 points, 14 rebounds, but Senior kept that going. 62-57, Walls has it stripped away. And the outlet pass now to Taylor is thrown away. And we're going to have a timeout with 3:44 to go, and it's things starting to heat up.
It's picked up quite a bit.
3:44, Cards by 5. We'll be back after this.
Lincoln Mercury Toyota Silent. There's a reason we're selling more cars and trucks than anyone in the region, whether it's our low price, large selection, or our certified service department. The Fannin dealership was built with you in mind. Become a customer and see how Fannin has a way with people. I'm Chris Fannin. Let my family win your heart.
Fannin has a way with people. Fannin's gonna win your heart.
I can go out and physically do everything with my kids. Play sports, play football. I do a lot of walking and a lot of bike riding. So my kids are not embarrassed with me now. They're happy with me. They said it's time to find a boyfriend now. That's what my kids tell me. That's wonderful. I try to beat him. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think he lets me win. But it's fun. If I had to do it again, I would do it all over again with the same doctor. And I love Dr. Nee, so he was wonderful.
And remember that in just 2 weeks, we'll be bringing you another great matchup between these two teams. On Thursday, February 15th, the Huntington High School Hounders will again take on the #1 boys team in the state of Kentucky, Scott County High School Cardinals. That's Thursday, February 15th at 7:30 right here on this station. So the rematch here in a couple weeks. So whoever gets who tonight will have an opportunity to redeem themselves in a couple of weeks.
Maybe a little bit different, though, depending on that suspension and when that actually does start if Mayo is playing.
O.J. Mayo tonight, 19 points.
I think this is your game with the bragging rights with both teams at full strength.
Shooting tonight, just 24 out of 60 for the Highlanders. Walls. Taylor's got to be careful with those 4 fouls, Kyle. Walls to Bud Mackey with Jamal Williams. Mackey gets a pick from Hunley. Pick and roll Hunley on Patterson. Back to Jordan Lee, free throw line. Jumper, bullseye.
Patterson didn't come out and guard him and leave with confidence, stepping up, making that free throw line jumper.
At the game tonight for Jordan Lee, Kyle Macy, 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 of them offensive.
Yeah, played a great game.
Mayo kicks it in the corner. Here's a 3 by Taylor off the left side of the iron, and Senior there battling with Hunley, but Cam Hunley wins that battle. Goes to Walls. Walls kicks it over to Warren. Warren, Jimmy, a 15-footer off the mark, pulled down by Jamal Williams. 3 minutes to go, and Cards by 7, but here's O.J. Mayo on Walls. Between the legs, now takes it base, and floater won't go. Hunley with the rebound, trying to clear it out now. Hunley needs some help. Gets it to Bud Mackey. Mackey now with a into front court. He puts it over Patterson, won't go, and bodies flares Mackey, tapping it out to Walls. Walls. And Mackey came in bounds, and Bud Mackey, you know what he's telling Matt? Go ahead and shoot it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot it.
I think Bud's a little bit tired. They're a little slow coming back in bounds after he made the nice tip back to Walls. But again, just trying to move the ball to get a good shot. Coach Hicks a little bit more concerned with the game, the way his tie is fitting right now, but he's into the game. Both teams understand with 2:36 to go, you got to make the big plays right now.
But, you know, I like the aggressiveness. You know, the Cardinals had the lead. They got, you know, Cam Hunley with a good back-to-back off with defensive boards there, getting it out, and then they took it quickly to the basket. They didn't make it that time, Kyle, the basket, but I'd still like the aggressiveness of the Cardinals.
Right. The question now becomes, though, with 2:36, when do you start worrying a little bit more about the clock? You've got the lead of 7 points. If you can get another stop all of a sudden, then do you try to take 30, 45 seconds off the clock, or do you just stay aggressive all the way to the end? That's the things they're discussing now at the timeouts with both teams. And Huntington, to me, they haven't really understood or reacted to the fact that what Scott County has done. There you see Scott Hundley,
Mr. Basketball,
former Vanderbilt star, and also a real good basketball family. Ted Hundley, their father, played a real good player up the road here at Morehead State University, just about an hour from Marshall as well. They're in Huntington, West Virginia. So, but Huntington hadn't understood that they're not really paying a whole lot of attention to early. And so he's getting some looks, but they're taking that player off and putting him on Patterson, which has made it tough for the Highlanders to kick the ball in the low post. And then out on the floor, they've run a second man at Mayo, and so he's had to give the basketball up. And so far, Williams or Taylor haven't been able to make the play to get the Highlanders over the hump here. And now with 2:36, we said, a 7-point game.
I talked to Lloyd McGuffin last night, Kyle, and one thing he talked about was that Durham trip they played when they played at the Cameron Indoor Center the other night. And he said it took a lot, it was a tiresome trip. They got back late Wednesday. He said, try to get their legs back under them here Friday night. Not making excuses for Huntington, but obviously when you play on the road like that, you play a lot of traveling, especially in the NBA. It does take its toll on you.
It really does. And again, these are just high school kids. And so, they understand the schedule, what's in front of them, but sometimes the body, when you ask it for a little bit more, it's sometimes just not there from all the wear and tear of the travel.
Scott County, Cal, has not played since last Saturday night when they played in the championship of the Toyota Classic, although it was a rough and tough tumble against Covington Catholic. They only won it by 63-58.
It's real nice to be able to sleep in your own bed for the whole week and have a whole week to prepare the game plan for this game.
Full court press by the Cardinals, and that is Taylor with it, one of the best football players in the state of West Virginia as well. O.J. Mayo, he's hit the only three for the Highlanders, are 1 out of 19 behind the arc. Ball knocked away, stolen by Walls of the Cards, and then a reaching foul on Jamal Williams.
If you're Scott County, that's the guy you want to go to the free throw line, although they're not quite yet there in the penalty. But he'll have the ball in his hand quite a bit here the last 2:20.
Next foul against the Highlanders, though, will put the Cards in the bonus. That's a 16 foul, whereas the Cards have only committed 4 fouls, so they got a couple to give. Walls lobs it to Bud Mackey. O.J. Mayo comes up and trips him, and O.J. says, I didn't touch him, and call a foul. O.J. just, I didn't touch him, but that will send another good free throw shooter to the line, Bud Mackey.
Well, Walls throwing the ball ahead. You can see Mackey not really, a little bit of contact there.
Did O.J. have a complaint? Did he have a legit argument? And Mackey missed a free throw. He's been knocking them down. 2:15 to go. Here come the Highlanders. O.J. Mayo cut off by Lee. Now Mackey working on him, and Mackey a little bit too much body, and that's going to be the 5th team foul against the Cards.
So not a bad foul. Use some clock, and Huntington has to take the ball back out on the side.
2:07 to go. Number 1 team in Kentucky, number 1 team in the nation, back-to-back state champions in West Virginia, the Huntington Highlanders. O.J. Mayo, and here's a long three. Got it.
Scott County a little slow in doubling that time, allowed Mayo a chance to step up and make that long shot.
22 for O.J. Lee kicks it over to Mackey. Here's a three-pointer, but Mackey out of the right side won't go, but a rebound by Portwood. Portwood shovels it back to Walls. He goes back to Portwood, fakes, lines up a 3 on the left side, bullseye. That is huge, Kyle.
Yeah, that answers our question, too. Will they go ahead and play the rest of the game like that or use some clock? Because still looking to score and stay aggressive.
O.J. Mayo, right side, off the window, knocks it down. O.J. Mayo now with 24.
If you're Huntington, though, you can't exchange baskets. You've got to get some stops.
Cardinals a minute 20 away, up 5. Walls has it stripped away by Williams. Williams drives down, hangs up, puts it down.
Looking
Jamal
for the foul.
Williams.
Didn't get the call there, though. Thought he got fouled, maybe trying to get a three-pointer.
Lead cut to 3. Jordan Lee for the Cards, lobs back to Walls. Walls a great free throw shooter. Don't think they want to foul him. He's going to get it across the timeline, call timeout. 61 seconds to go, Kyle Macy. 67 Cardinals, 64 Huntington. O.J. Mayo has knocked down a couple of big threes here. He has 24 points. They were, as we said, it was a long drought there before they knocked down some threes, but O.J. has come up big with a couple of big threes here. 67-64 Cardinals the ball, minute 1 to go.
Well, he has that ability, obviously, that talent level, but you kind of wonder, too, what took so long. Why wait until the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game to turn it up a notch? But now Scott County in their timeout, you can see drawing up a play. They're going to look to try to get something easy, but if not, then understanding, hey, look, we're still up 3. Clock's in our advantage. We've got some pretty good free throw shooters, so let's make sure we space the floor well and keep the ball in the guy's hands that we want so that we'll get fouled, because it comes to a point where Huntington's going to have to foul if they can't come up with a steal. So really the game is kind of in Scott County's hands as long as they take care of the basketball, don't turn it over, and then knock down free throws when they get fouled, or if they do get an easy shot, finish the play.
3-point ball game, Cards up with a minute 1 to go. Here's your line on the game. Williams 18 points, 10 rebounds for Huntington High. Mayo 24 points, 4 boards. Patrick Patterson a double-double, 10 points, 14 boards. Bud Mackey 20 points, 5 boards for the Cards. Walls 18 points, 5 rebounds. Jordan Lee's come up big tonight, 16 points, 8 boards, and Tyler Portwood has been huge with 11 points and 4 rebounds.
Excellent balance. You know, we talked at the start of the game about how there wasn't just a great, athletic, outstanding top 10 player in the country on the Scott County team, but they're pretty darn good, and they play real well together.
They are pretty darn good. Cam Hunley's in there, Ty Portwood, Jordan Lee, Bud Mackey, and Matt Walls. As we said, Walls one of the best free throw shooters in the state at 91%. Hunley trying to get at the Walls with Taylor on him, but Taylor's got 4 fouls, Kyle.
Yeah, he can't foul.
Jordan Lee's got it, top him with Patterson, gives to Walls.
It may come to a point, though, where he won't have a chance to. He'll have to foul to stop the clock.
Lee back over the Walls, down to 48 seconds. Cards have the leather and the lead.
I think I'd foul Hunley. He really hadn't taken many attempts, not if any, and so you want to put someone on the line that's not used to shooting.
Portwood's pass is kicked, and Billy Hicks there is giving a pat there to Taylor, and I think Lloyd McGuffin wants a timeout. He gets one with 40.9 seconds. Coach McGuffin of Huntington High gets the 30-second timeout, and the Cards there doing a good job protecting the basketball, running some clock.
Good job spacing the floor, didn't allow the double team to come, and kept moving the ball. That's what you've got to do. You can't come together where they have a chance to double team, and you want to get rid of the ball before the double team gets there. And like I said, now Huntington's got to decide, okay, who are we going to foul? We want to try to get at the ball so they can't inbounds it, get a 5-second count if we can, but if they do get it in, we're now at 40 seconds, 40.9. And so it's a time where, yeah, we've got to get a good hard trap, or if not, who are we going to foul, and hope we get a miss there and then go down and score quickly on the other end.
You know, at the pregame, at the beginning of the game, Kyle, you and I were talking about players who aren't the superstars, and I think tonight been a couple of them. When you look at Scott County, Jordan Lee and Ty Portwood both have stepped up huge.
I think that's the difference. Scott County's players have stepped up. Huntington struggled a little bit with Williams and Taylor not playing their normal game.
William and Hunley gives it in backcourt to Walls with Taylor after him. Walls trying to work it across the timeline. Now skips it over to Portwood. Portwood, he's in trouble. He's going to get a timeout with 32 seconds. He was double teamed there by Early and Jamal Williams. That's a good timeout there, right there by Portwood to save possession.
Yeah, we used 8 seconds off the clock, and they still have now, I think, 1 left. So a little different situation. If they use that last one, then what will they do when they get trapped?
Yeah.
But again, trying to space the floor. I thought Walls did a nice job going to the backcourt, because then he goes all the way back, has 10 more seconds before he has to come into the front court. And again, just being smart, using the clock. But again, setting up out of bounds play here, Coach Hicks. Everybody understand, talking about what we want to do, how we're going to possess the basketball. And Huntington on the other end, trying to just decide defensively and who shoots the worst free throw percentage. You can see the crowd on their feet into this game.
Huntington, Kyle, they cut the lead to 2 points with 2:32 to go in the third. Scott County hit back-to-back threes to go back up 8. And the largest Scott County lead in the second half has been 10 with 5:54 to go in the fourth. And Huntington High cut the lead to 3 with a minute 1 to go here in the ball game.
Yeah, you know, Scott County's done that this whole game. Every time Huntington's made a run, Scott County has responded. Let's see if they can do it here in the last 32 seconds.
I want to thank Doug Kidd and, of course, Dave Medley doing a great job here courtside as well. Doug's just a plethora of information, isn't he? Pass knocked away, and Huntington's got the steal. O.J. Mayo with 28 seconds to go here in regulation of 3. It's almost stolen by Lee on the side court, and he does get it. Lee in trouble, though. Shovels, and then we're going to have a whistle on side court. Boy, what a play there by Jordan Lee. We talked about how huge his 6'7" juniors come up. And was that a play or what?
You know, I think it was just the indecision by Mayo. Not sure if they were going to go for a 3 or try to get a quick 2, but kind of threw an ill-advised pass, obviously a cross-court leaner. And Lee doing a nice job reading, stepping in the gap.
And a good job not to travel there after you get the double team on the side court. You see that a lot with big men, Kyle. Not able to, keep their composure there on the side court.
Well, did a good job of being strong on the ball, because you've got to know at that point they're coming to foul. So I've got to protect the basketball and make sure the official calls that foul. So now Coach McGoffin, Huntington High School, will call one more full timeout and try to go over the situation. Again, down 3. If he makes it, here's what we're doing. If he misses, this is what we're going to try to do with 21.1 left.
Islanders came in undefeated, 16-0, ranked #1 in the nation. Cardinals came in 18-1, and they have not lost since the Beach Ball Classic back in December. And they're a team that also has run off like 48, 49 straight over there at their home gym at Scott County.
Yeah, great atmosphere, their home game as well over there in Scott County. But, you know, they're used to playing good competition. And as Coach Hicks said in the opening, we like to compete. You get those competitive juices flowing when you're challenged. And that's what good teams will do, challenge you, and they've responded tonight.
Billy was out at WKYT today with Dave Baker doing the draw show out there before the draw today in the afternoon. And what he said is, hey, you know, we're going to come to win the game. You know, we know they're a very good basketball team, but whenever we step out on the floor at Scott County, we expect and want to win the game.
Yeah, tonight before the game, he was telling me he used the word serious quite a bit, and I like that. I mean, they came here not just to put on a good performance, but to win the game. And again, reflecting back, he thought the Lexington Catholic team was just down after that loss the night before and didn't ever really get into the flow of the game. But you could see here tonight, right from the opening tip, they had that bounce in their step and that look in their eye, and they played an outstanding game. Now they just got to finish it off with 21.1 and Lee going to the free throw line.
O.J. Mayo leads everybody with 24. Bud Mackey, 20, leads Scott County. Walls has 18. Jordan Lee at the line for the Cardinals. Lee, 57% free throw shooter, and a 57% free throw shooter knocks down probably the biggest free throw in his career.
Looked pretty casual, pretty calm, and nice and relaxed. Good follow through right in the middle of the net.
Looked better than 57%, didn't he? Lead 4 for the Cards. 21 seconds. Lee's second one rolls out. Pulled down by Early. Gives to O.J. Mayo. 68-64. Here's Mayo. Strong move to the basket. Scoops it up and in. And they'll get a quick timeout with 14 seconds and then cut the lead to 2 on the scoop shot by O.J. Mayo, who now has 26.
Real good play by Huntington that time. Plenty of time with 14 seconds. You want to get a quick 2, call the quick timeout, get your press set, and then again, review who you want to foul if you don't get the steal. So if you miss a 3 right there, then all of a sudden the game's over because you fouled. They've gone to the free throw line, and Scott County, a real good free throw shooting team. So Mayo with his decision this time going strong to the glass and getting the quick 2.
May give him 26 points on the night. Another slow first half, but as you said, Kyle, kind of wonder, you know, where it's been. You know, I mean, he kind of turns it on and off, doesn't he?
And I think in college, you know, that'll be one thing that his coach at USC, Tim Floyd, will try to bring out from the very start of the game, going all cylinders and doing the best you can for the full 40 minutes, not just turn on late or at certain spurts during the course of the game.
Strategically here for the Cardinals, you want to get this ball to Matt Walls because you look up at Huntington, 8 fouls. Of course, they're not in a double bonus, but Walls shoots 91% from the line. That's your money guy.
That'd be your first choice, definitely. But now, you know, I think Mackey is, even though he's maybe only 72%, but being one of the experienced players, one of their go-to guys, he's used to being in that situation. And really, Coach Hicks knows probably better than anyone, no matter what the stat sheet said, who likes these situations. They learn from practice situations, they learn from previous games, and all the coaches kind of bank it and put their heads together and decide who they are, if they get to pick, who they want the ball to have in their hands.
Here for the Cardinals, you do not want to turn the ball over here. You're only up by 2 with 14 seconds. 24 turnovers by Huntington, 16 by the Cards. Cam Hunley trying to put it in play, goes to Walls. He's going to be grabbed by Taylor, and that will foul Michael Taylor out of the ball game.
Yeah, didn't have any choice at that point. So, you know, may have wanted to, if you wanted to keep him in offensively, although he has struggled from the field today, but may have substituted defensively, and then with the foul, gone ahead and got him back in.
Taylor will foul out with 8 points, 3 rebounds. And in there, their outstanding guards, Brandon Hutchinson, the juniors in there. Walls, as we said, 91% free throw shooter, money.
This is the big one, though. He's got the 3-point spread now, but this can get it to a 2 possessions, as long as they don't foul in the 3-point shot with 13 seconds.
I say that facetiously. His father works at Whitaker Bank. Second one, got it.
Should have banked it in there, right?
Yeah, Whitaker Bank shot. 70-66. 10 seconds. Mayo's got it. Works on Mackey. Launches a long 3. Off the back of the rim. There's stick back up and in by Patterson with 4.6. Cuts it to 2, Kyle.
Well, the big player stepping up. Mayo looking for the shot. Patterson with the follow. But again, Walls doing a nice job making those free throws to get that 4-point spread. And, good defense. 2 players right up there in his face, but Patterson just too big And even with the little guy hanging, Lee looked like hanging on his arm, still got it to go down. You can see Patterson wanting to foul.
And remember, Kyle, Jordan Lee is, what, 6'7", 6'8", but Patrick Patterson was about a foot above him.
Well, and I think that's one of the reasons you can see the way he plays in around the basket, the way he runs the floor, why University of Kentucky, as well as many other schools, are trying to get him to sign that dotted line, the national letter of intent.
And places like Duke and Florida, Billy Donovan, places like that are hot on the trail of Double P. Patrick Patterson, Kyle.
It'd be a tough decision for him because it'll all come down really what he wants, what he likes, and how he feels he's going to fit in.
You were obviously a great high school player in Indiana, and your first initial decision was Purdue.
Right.
You played there, and I believe if I'm not mistaken, in your freshman year, in one game, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, you had 36 points in one game as a freshman. Is that correct?
At 38.
38. Okay.
But it was a double overtime, so we got to play a few extra minutes.
Okay. We'll give you the overtime. And then you transferred over to the UK, and the rest is history, as they say. You won a national championship with the young coach down there to our left. And I say young coach, Joe Hall, down to our left is here tonight, and you chatted with him before the game tonight.
Yeah, Coach is still a big fan, goes to a lot of games around, and doing very well, looks great. I'm glad to see that.
Here it comes down to this, 70-68, 4.6 seconds. Cardinals, Cam Hunley, the key man, trying to get it into Walls, and he is going to be grabbed from behind by Hutchinson, and that only took 3/10 of a second off the clock. So good foul there by Hutchinson. But again, you put the money man at the line, Walls. Walls so far tonight, 3 out of 4 at the line, has 20 points, 5 rebounds. He equals Mackey's 20, 26 by O.J. Mayo to lead everybody.
Well, if he makes these two, it doesn't really matter. You just don't want to foul if you're Scott County. But if he misses, Huntington with one timeout still can maybe get it a quick timeout, stop the clock, or throw it to half court, then call the timeout, and then set up one last play with a second or two left on the clock.
Walls knocked it down. That was nothing but net. The lead is 3. If he makes this, Cal, it's pretty much it's over.
Yeah, if you're Scott County, you just stand still, don't foul.
Walls rattles it in. The Cardinals are going to upset the nation's #1 team here tonight in front of a packed house. And here's going to be a steal by Walls. He's going to launch a 3, and it's all over. The Cardinals have upset the nation's #1 team, the Huntington Highlanders, and the packed house here at Memorial Coliseum erupts. And the Cardinals may make a claim here, a stake that maybe they should be ranked nationally, Cal.
If you go by tonight's performance, I'd say they have something about it, but just a real good contest by Scott County from the beginning right to the end, and Huntington just couldn't quite get on track. They started a little bit slow. They made a few runs, but Scott County always seemed to have an answer.
At one point, the Highlanders 0 for 19 behind the arc until O.J. knocked down a couple of trays there late in the ball.
Yeah, and I thought they kind of fell into that trap. They really relied too much on the outside shooting as opposed to going inside first, then kicking it back out.
Great high school basketball atmosphere, and the Cardinals, the #1 team in the state. If nothing else, what Billy Hicks said, he said, hey, Gary, we're playing this game for the rest of the state of Kentucky and representing the state. They represented the state well tonight.
Well, a lot of pride over there in Scott County, and as I said, also representing the state, but just a real good win. Now, the other thing that happens, this gives Scott County a little bit of boost going down the stretch, and yes, this is a big game. They wanted to win, and they did win, but also gaining confidence for now when the district play starts, regional play starts, and hopefully for them getting to the Sweet 16 going
That is the first loss that Huntington suffers this year, 16-1, and the Cardinals go to 19-1 on the season. We'll be back with post-game festivities and have some interviews here. As you can imagine, the fans are rushing the floor here as Scott County has knocked off the nation's #1 team, the Highlanders, 72-68 behind Bud Mackey and Matt Walls. We'll be back with the post-game show.